A very good morning to all of you. Today with us, we have a very special guest, Miss Deepa Rodrigues from Little Engine Play School. Before we dive into our session, I would like to tell her a little about her. Miss Deepa's rewarding career began with Little Engine Play School. Her passion was imparting quality education to the little ones, and this was only possible by opening her own school, which was the best career choice that she ever made, and she has never looked back since then. She received her BCom degree from Jyothi Nivas College in Bangalore and continued by earning an MBA degree in women's entrepreneurship from Goldman Sachs. In order to live her dream, she pursued Montessori and Nursery teachers training program. Little Engine started on April 1st, 2007 as a summer program for children of all ages, but it eventually led to the realization of her goal. Since then, her love for kids has only grown, and she has had 15 years of running the school. To ensure that every child is loved and appreciated in school has always been her top priority. She was confident that she could accomplish this by laying a solid basis for their future success by giving them access to an affordable education. As the institution's principal, she is also part of the On Par Edu Trust that supports free education for underprivileged kids. And her love has inspired her to train and educate others who want to work in the same sector. It has always been her endeavor to see many more children graduate from Little Engine, dream big, and achieve in all walks of life. It's indeed a pleasure to have you with us, Ms. Deepa. Thank you for joining us.
It is indeed a pleasure to be with you on this forum, and there is no better time to speak about my children and my passion for teaching. Thank you for having me here today, Archana.
Amazing. Thank you. So, Ms. Deepa, to begin with, you have said that you started Little Engine. It started as a summer program. So I would like to understand from you that which year exactly then the school curriculum or school actually started formally.
Okay, we started in the year 2007 as a summer program for children. It was just a 2-week summer program. But having been there for 2 weeks, I learned that my passion was to be with children long term. And that is why my dream started from then itself. And I've been here for 15 years and I'm enjoying every bit of it.
Wow. That's great. So, I would love to know, sometimes the names of some of the schools are so fascinating and it sounds really cute, My Little Engine. So I just would like to understand what was the thought behind the name?
Yes, you are right. Little Engine is a very unique name. In fact, it always gets mistaken for Little Angels. I know all our children are angels, but the engine here is about progression. It is about moving. And education begins when you're born and ends till your very last. So the engine keeps moving, and so does education.
Awesome. That's really an interesting thought. So having been in this sector for so many years and, running of school for 15 years, and you know how it is in Bangalore, there are like schools mushrooming every year, and especially preschools, probably every second or third lane, you will find a preschool there. So with so many schools coming up every now and then, how do you stand to make a difference amongst so many schools?
You are right. At every nook and corner, there are schools mushrooming. What makes me different? It is the love and the affection we give our children. We don't look for the latest techniques. I think the only way you can bring a child to love his school environment is love and affection. I stand out uniquely because of that. And the second thing is the playway method that we follow. Following that is the most affordable education that one can get. I think these are the three main factors that make me unique. Love for children undoubtedly will bring them to where you want them to be.
Absolutely. You're right. So right now, when you started and now at present, what are the age groups that you take in your school?
Initially, we started with the age groups of 2 to 4 years.
Okay.
But over the years, we have realized the demand for children in the older age groups, particularly 4, 5, and 6, is growing with every year. So we've included up to the age of 6, that is LKG and UKG as well.
And so what is the student-teacher ratio that you follow at your school?
It is 12 to 1. 12 students have 1 teacher.
Okay. I think that really gives a lot of room for them, for each child to get sufficient attention from the teacher.
Yes, that's very true.
Yes.
You're right.
So you mentioned Playway. So is that the curriculum that is followed at your school, or is there something that you integrate, or anything else that you make it part of your curriculum?
Yeah, see, ours is a more integrated approach that we follow. It is a bit of Montessori, a lot of playway and kindergarten. Now, we cater to children who go to the schools in the vicinity. What do the bigger schools want? They want your child to be able to read and write. And that is the method we follow. We initiate play, followed by the old school method. I still like to say I do follow the old school method, where writing and reading is a very integral part of getting them into the mainstream school.
Absolutely. Now, you must have faced this whenever parents come for admissions, times have really changed over the last few years, where when a child was to go to school, whichever school was closest, the child used to be sent to that, irrespective of the board that the school followed. So today, parents are, they have so many choices, and it leads to a lot of confusion in their minds. But according to you, do you think that boards really have a role to play in the child's success?
Eventually, it does. But when a child at the age of 2 is coming into the school, what are we looking for? We are looking for the child to get comfortable in the school environment. So where does the question of board arise there? There is absolutely no need for the parent to worry about the future board, probably at the age of 5 or 6. That's when this point comes in. But till then, the board doesn't matter. It's what the child is learning, and all the physical development, social, emotional development is what we should emphasize at that time, not what board the child is going to follow at a later point in time.
Absolutely. And, you would be seeing that when the parents come in there, suppose their child is 4 years old and they see another child who's of the same age group, they feel that the other child knows a lot more than what their child knows. And this is a constant thing with many of the parents. So would you like to share your thoughts with the parents on that? Is there any particular way that the child learns, and what is it that you as an educator have think about this?
This is a constant ongoing battle I have with parents. He knows so much, why not my child?
Correct.
Your child is unique.
Absolutely.
If he has one talent, it is something different from another child. So please do not compare your child. This is happening more and more now because of the single child syndrome that we face.
Yes.
Please remember, parents, your child is unique, your child is special and highly talented. So accept the child as he is. Do not compare, and love him for what he is.
Absolutely. So, now that you see, there are children, who are involved in a whole lot of activities once they come back from school. They have probably a music class, a dance class, they go for art class or whatever. There are a number of things that parents want to put their child into. So I want to understand that, can parents, help their child with their overall personality by helping them probably imbibe certain skills, or how is it? Because every parent wants that my child should be an all-rounder, should have a good personality. So do you think, is there anything in particular that parents can do which will help their child?
Absolutely. A conducive environment at home is by far the most important thing that the parent can give the child. Very often there are 2-3 siblings in the family, comparisons between siblings. That is by far the worst thing that you can do to your child. Give them a happy environment. Allow them.
So, Ms. Deepa, I would like to know from you that, many parents, I would say rather, or most of the parents want that their child should develop an overall personality. So are there any thoughts on how the parents can help the child into developing this kind of personality?
Yeah, Archana, we should remember that every child comes from a different background, okay? And the family is the most conducive place for the child to learn. Absolutely. Now, when a child comes into the school environment, we realize that the personality of the child differs from every other child. So the some children are introverts, some are extroverts, very shy. Some take a little while to adjust. So as parents, it is very important for them to realize the background of the child and help the child to come in at his own time and space. That is very, very important.
True. And I'm sure that, children, everybody carries with them, like you said, about uniqueness. Everybody has their own personality. So just because one child is doing a whole lot of things and is interested, it doesn't mean that, everybody's child is going to be the same.
Yes, yes.
So in your school, though you talked about Playway being part of the curriculum, what are the activities that are done on a regular basis during the course of the year? Like I'm talking about maybe on a monthly basis or fortnightly or once in 3 months. What are some of the activities that you do at your school?
Okay, see, we start with a prayer. We have song, dance, painting, craft. There are so many things that bring out the talent of the children. Okay, so everything, we have physical activities. So there are a lot of teamwork, team building, a lot of activities that are used to bring the best in the child, to bring out the best in the child.
Okay, so these activities, so there are some special days that you would also be celebrating at school, right?
All festivals are celebrated on a very large scale.
Okay, well, great. So are the parents also invited for these?
Plenty of activities, not only for the children, but for the parents as well. We have a sports day for the children. We have sports events for the parents as well. For the fathers, we have football or cricket matches.
Wow.
For the mothers, we have cooking competitions, rangoli, painting. There's so many. And I feel that if a parent is part of our institution, it makes a big difference. Once we bond with the parent, we also help to learn more about the child in our environment. And that makes a big difference.
Such an interesting thing. I'm sure that parents would never want their children to pass out from your school. So many lovely events for the parents.
Yes, there are plenty.
That's lovely. So do you have, when it comes to the parent participation, how much of participation do you expect from them? And that brings me to my next question is also that when a child is given some kind of a homework, some kind of a work that they need to finish at home, are the parents expected to help the child?
Yes. See, it is very important that parents are part of the entire growth of the child.
True.
It is not enough for the teacher to do their bit and the child to go home and have nothing to do. Having said that, the homework that we do give homework for our older children.
Okay.
It is not too much.
Okay.
And I have an approach where parents can call me at any point and discuss their homework with the child. Some parents may feel the child is not able to do it. So we do not force the child, but we would like the parent to be there to encourage the child, as we do in school. It is a three-way kind of thing. It is the parent, it is the teacher, and the child. So without any one of these, it is not possible. It is a joint effort ultimately.
And see, there are times that, of course, every child learns at his or her pace, So there are times that though you have a great student-teacher ratio, but there would be times where a child is not able to probably come up at that level, the level that is expected during the class. So at that point of time, is there some kind of a support that is given to the child by the teacher, and also the methodology that the teachers are following in the classroom? Some parents may not be aware of that methodology. So how do you close this gap, or how do you bridge this?
See, I think you're referring to a gifted child, whereas a child who could be a bit of a slow learner. We do not have special teachers only for the slow learners, but what we do is we speak with the parent and we offer a lot of guidance, and we ask the parent, to get help. Having said that, we do as much as we can with the child.
Okay.
Now, the children are highly talented, and they also need a special kind of guidance given to them. So bridging the gap in the school environment alone is not enough.
True.
Sometimes as parents, we need to reach out to get the help that is needed for the child. But as a school, we do the best that we can to support either of the children, a gifted child or a child with a little learning difficulty.
So also my question to you is that apart from the children who would be termed special, or even are struggling with some particular thing, but even a regular kind of a curriculum, like, I remember, at least when I was growing up, Montessori probably was not that popular, and Montessori is something which teachers or everybody everybody needs to be trained before they actually teach. So many of the parents are not even aware of that method. In case there's something that is taught in the manner of Montessori, then do you have some kind of an opportunity where parents can understand how to kind of teach their children at home?
Yes, we have a lot of videos that we send, online videos.
Oh, great. Okay.
But having said that, the Montessori equipment is not freely available and it works out quite expensive for parents.
Yes.
So ideally, parents do not have Montessori equipment at home, and the method used in a Montessori system is very different. So we don't recommend having Montessori equipment at home and for the parent to do it without the assistance of a teacher. So I feel the Montessori equipment is to be used in school, but other activities that can be learned at home with parent help is always sent home in a form of a video, and the parents follow the same.
Great. Okay. I would like to know from you that, how can the curiosity be nurtured or inculcated in the children? Like parents sometimes say, my child never asks any questions or is always absorbed in doing something. So is there a way that they can imbibe that in their children?
See, every child is interested in knowing why, what, when, and how. So the first thing we have to do is answer them. What is the thing that happens most often? The parent is in the kitchen cooking.
Correct.
They don't have the time to answer the question.
Yes.
So that by far the most important thing to do. Spend time with your children answering their questions, however silly it may seem to you. And that's when the curiosity builds. Apart from that, we have a lot of activities in school that enhance the curiosity of the child. A lot of videos, a lot of play equipment itself, simple things like dance, clay activity, puppet shows, all these are very important. And most importantly is reading and books. So I feel that's where the curiosity of the child increases. And it is up to the parent and the teacher to help and answer those questions, which will help to enhance the curiosity of the child.
Yes, perfect. Absolutely. So now coming to the workforce, as we call our teachers, we say that teachers are like the pillars of any school. So in case, some parents may be very interested in also being a part of your school as teachers. So what is the process for recruitment that you follow at your school?
It gives me a lot of pride to say that my teachers have been with me for a number of years. I've been teaching 15 years. My teachers have been with me at least for 10 years. So what better learning than to have a team that supports each other and learns from each other? So I take a lot of pride in saying my teachers are not only highly qualified, they are very experienced. And the foremost thing that I look for is love for children. And that's what my teachers come in with. So it really gives me pride to say I have the best team in Little Engine. And that's why my children pass out of my school with flying colors.
Of course, your teachers have been, most of them who have been with you, but is there some kind of a refreshers training or something that takes place on a regular basis?
Oh, absolutely. By the end of each year, we have online courses that the teachers have to attend. It is mandatory. Because as you know, things are going at such a fast pace. Technology is, going at a faster pace than we can even imagine. So it is mandatory for the teachers to take these online courses to keep them abreast of what's latest and how we can help our children in the future.
Okay. So though we talked about, the children who are gifted, or of course, some of them are, beyond the age of whichever grade that they are studying in, and some of them are lagging a little behind. And you said that you do not have, you do not provide special educators, but there could be instances where a child has got admitted and parent, you're not made aware of the child's difficulty. In such cases, probably after 2-3 months, the teachers come to know that the child has, it could be a learning difficulty, could be an intellectual kind of disability. So how do you handle those kind of an issue?
Yeah, this is an issue we faced quite often, and it is very disheartening that parents like to hide a situation where we could have stepped in at an earlier date and helped the child. This is an ongoing thing. Another difficulty that we face is how do we approach the parent? Parent does not want to know, does not want to accept. So it probably gives me, within 2 weeks of the child having been with me in my class, my teachers and I are equipped enough to know whether the child is gifted or has a learning disability. So the next problem then we face is how do we approach the parent? In some occasions, we've had the parent absolutely deny. So what happens is, who is the sufferer? The child.
Exactly.
Because a period of 6 months, 8 months is wasted when you can take the child in for the best guidance, the best kind of curriculum suited for special children. But let's not make any bones about this. I tell the parent in as subtle a way I can that the child needs help. In the other scenario, it gives me pride to tell a parent that your child is gifted. And there also, the child needs help.
Exactly.
The child needs to blossom and grow depending on the kind of exceptional talent. So in both scenarios, we speak with the parent directly and tell them what we think should be done with the child.
Very true. I think you said it very well that parents need to realize that by keeping this information, they're only harming the child, whereas that particular time could have been used to rectify and help the child, absolutely. So almost coming to the towards the end of a session, but I would like to know from you, Ms. Deepa, that what really inspired you? Probably what was that defining moment when you knew and you knew that you had to get into this field of education?
As I mentioned right through the interview, it is just love and love for children. Not everybody is passionate with being with 2 and 4-year-olds. Let me tell you, they can be a challenge, but I love their naughtiness. I love their cuteness. When they are able to speak a sentence, it gives me joy. Every small thing is an achievement for them. And so is it for me. There is nothing beyond love and passion for teaching that keeps me going. And I hope to be here for another 15 years doing what I love most.
Absolutely. Not just 15 years, we would wish you more 30 and 40 years.
I would love to be. I would love that.
Yes. So coming to the final question, though you have just onboarded our platform Skoolz, but what has been your experience so far with Skoolz?
I'm really happy with the approach you all have started. We, as a small school setup, are not able to reach the people, not able to reach newer areas. So I thank Skoolz for being there for us and helping parents in the vicinity know about what we do and know about the schools and what we offer. So thank you, Skoolz, for being there for us and for supporting us. It's a pleasure to be onboarded with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So it was lovely speaking to you, Ms. Deepa, and we pray that your school touches pinnacles of success and you have, like you said, many, many more years, and you have probably many branches coming up in not just in Bangalore, but probably across many cities in our country. We wish you all the very best, and your children and your staff as well. And we hope to have you back with us very soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Archana. It was my pleasure, and hoping to reach the pinnacles of success with your help. Looking forward to a long association with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.